Should you take a pay cut when accepting a federal government job? No. Next question. Seriously, I don't know anything about you. Every situation is going to be different. Do you have 6 to 12 months in savings? Are you living paycheck to paycheck? What are your goals? What is your experience? I don't know if you should take a pay cut or not. But I tell you what, without knowing you, I would lean towards no, don't do it. Why would you do it? Why would you leave the money on the table when you can easily pick it up? So I would urge you not to do it. But there are some reasons you might be considering it. Let's talk about it. The main 3 reasons I could see is you have no to limited experience, or it's been a while since you had a job. You've been applying and you can't get a job anywhere. Maybe this has to do with your location. Maybe it has to do with you. Either way, you're desperate for a job. And then there's a third one that I've been hearing more and more lately, and it's about lifestyle. You're willing to take a pay cut in order to have the work-life balance, or maybe even to have telework opportunities, to be able to be 100% remote work, and you can work in the location of your desire, of your choice. In fact, over half of American workers now say that they're willing to take close to a 20% pay cut if this means improving their lifestyle. But if you have 5 or 10 years of experience, making $80,000, $85,000, $90,000 a year, you shouldn't be expected to take a pay cut to come into the government. To avoid this, you need to set your filters on USAJobs.gov. You need to go down there, look at the salary range, and input the right salary range, or input the right GS pay grade. But if you don't know what GS grade you should come in at, or which GS grade you should target, then just do the salary range. That's probably the safest thing you can do, because you'll see other pay bands there. You'll see VM, CG, AD, all kinds of different pay bands. Focus on the actual monetary amount. You need $100,000 a year. That's what you need. Input $100,000 a year. One of the most painful things that I continue to hear is somebody who goes through the entire hiring process and they get their job offer. It comes in and they look at the number and they're shocked. I can't work for $80,000 a year. What is this? I thought this would be higher. And then they have to reject the job offer. And they don't have no consideration of everyone else who would have gladly accepted that job offer, because they didn't do their due diligence and actually see, is this a job that meets my financial requirements? They just applied to any old job. So what ends up happening is the hiring process is often reset. They don't always have a number 2 or a number 3 so they can just give the job offer to somebody else. They'll have to republish that job announcement and start everything all over again. Why? Because you did not read the entire job announcement and you did not have an understanding on how the salary works when it's tied to a federal government job. Another way you can prevent taking a pay cut is by actually trying to negotiate your salary once you receive the tentative job offer. The job offer comes in, you accept, and then you say, hey, listen, I am a superiorly qualified candidate, and this is why I want a higher step. When you are saying you want a higher step, that means I want a higher salary. Step 1 to step 10 can be $30,000 or more a year. Maybe you don't get step 10. I don't know. Some people get it, maybe not you, but try for step 5 or try for step 3. And how you're doing it is you're casting a spotlight on your experiences. What have you done? You have 10, 15 years of experience. Maybe you have awards. Maybe you were given monetary awards. Maybe it was time off awards, or something as simple as a certificate that you can hang on your wall. Those are all awards for a job well done. That is what you need to capture when you're communicating to the human resource specialist and when you're asking for a higher step level. Here's another thing that you can consider. You might have done a salary comparison of what you're currently making, and you've pulled up the pay scale and you saw, hey, if I apply for this job, I might be taking a $5,000 a year cut, but it's really not $5,000 a year. When you're comparing what you're making now to the government, you always have to consider your FERS deduction. That's 4.4%. That's coming out of your pay. That money is going towards your pension. So it's not a $10,000 a year cut. You have to reduce that salary by 4%. So if it's $100,000, you're not getting $100,000, you're getting $96,000. So do the math that way. And just because the FERS deduction right now, as I'm recording this video, it's 4.4%. That is not to say that in the future, in 2025, 2026, 5, 10 years from now, if you're watching this video from 10 years from now, that deduction could have increased. It might be 5%, 6%. The world doesn't like pensions. And the government is one of the last organizations holding on to the federal pension. People don't like it because it's expensive. It benefits us. It benefits the employee. If you look at the senior level leadership around the world, they would rather it go into the trash can. They don't like it. What's better? A 401k is better for them, not for us. It's better for them because that way the market bears the risk. It takes 5 years to be fully vested in the pension, but you could be saying, I don't even want to stay 5 years. What if I don't want the pension? I like the market. Well, in that case, you don't have to take the pension. When you leave your government job, there is an option to take your first contribution with you. Let's say, for instance, you are earning $100,000 a year. So your first deduction comes out for 3 years. That means you've contributed over $13,000, but now you're leaving the government and you don't care about the pension. You can have those $13,000 back into your bank account. That is an option. Or you can leave to the private sector, become an entrepreneur, start your own business, 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, decide, I want to come back into the government. I want to start building my pension back up. You can just leave it alone and watch it grow. Maybe do 5 or 6 years now, take a 10-year break, come back in, do another 5 or 6 years. Boom, you have a 10 to 12-year pension. You have a pension that's going to pay you for the rest of your life. You can withdraw this at 62, at 60, at 57, and in some cases, even younger, depending on your situation. Wherever you're at in your career, in your job right now, the chances are you're not getting paid at your max potential. There is more money out there for you to get. Now, you might not be chasing after that money because you're comfortable, because you like where you're at. You've looked at the pros and cons and decided, you know what? I'm going to stay right here. But I would urge you, do not settle for significantly less. And what I'm talking about is, why take 50% less money simply because you don't want to get out there and expose yourself to some of these opportunities, become a little vulnerable, deal with rejection, and consistently do the same action over and over. Apply, interview, keep doing that. So do not settle for a small salary because you do not want to step out of your comfort zone. Money isn't everything, but it helps. It helps with just about everything. I heard on a podcast recently that says money doesn't equate happiness. Money can't buy you happiness, but it can remove an awful lot of discomfort. It can relieve an awful lot of stress. So don't feel guilty if you have that mindset where you feel you should have more. You know that you're worth more. Your value is more than what you're currently getting paid. So you're going to go ahead and start making some meaningful action towards your goals. Don't feel guilty for that, and don't let anyone make you feel guilty for that. If you are interested in a federal government job, you should know the steps in the hiring process. Many people do not know them. When you get referred, when you get interviewed, when can you negotiate? All these type of questions. If you're interested in that, I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.